Good day once again, everybody. I'm here to just give you some basic information on some general questions you may be having to clarify for assignment number 2, which is the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet assignment. This assignment has been explained, I believe. I know I explained it in my section lectures, and I imagine that each lecturer has probably explained it in theirs as well. But I just want to make sure that everybody's aware, just some general questions that come across. So I'm just going to go through this kind of quickly, but just to explain to you what actually you should be submitting. You're only supposed to be submitting the same worksheet that you download. So make sure when you go into week 10 and you download the Excel assignment 2 that you save it to a location on your computer where you can find it, and then you're going to make changes to it. Remember that when you submit it at the end, you get a point for changing it to the correct name, which is your last name, Excel assignment. That's it, right? Just your last name and Excel assignment. When you upload it, it will automatically go into a folder with your full name and student number, okay? So please, and remember, you do not need to zip this because it's just one file that you're submitting. So just upload the one file. Make sure you do it in Excel, and it should be done in 2016. Like we've talked about before, if you use different versions, certain formatting may change, so just be careful. If you're not sure what if you submitted the correct file, which sometimes people submit the file that they originally downloaded by mistake, what you can do is after you upload it, go back in and re-download what you uploaded so you can see what you actually submitted, right? It's important that you make sure that what you submit is correct. All right, so to be clear, the assignment comes with 4 sheets, right, before any changes are made. Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Section 2Q, Section 2A, and Rubric, do not delete. These are 5 sheets that are inside of here. So it says here, if you look on the Rubric page, right, which you should not delete, that Sheet 1 will be changed to Donor List, Sheet 2 will be changed to Donor Data, Sheet 2Q will be changed to Quarterly 1, and Sheet 2A will be changed to Semi-Annual, right, which you'll be renaming them. So you're going to right-click them, and you're going to, when you right-click them, you're going to click on the Rename button, and you will rename the sheets where it tells you to rename them. It also says to assign a tab color, which you should be able to find right there, right? So these 4 sheets will now be renamed to these sheets, right? So you haven't added any sheets yet. You still have the 4 plus the rubric. Then you're going to add a sheet called Private Donors, which only will have the private donors on it with 2 charts. Then you're going to add a sheet called Business Donors, which will be a new sheet with 2 charts. Then you'll notice that you have Section 1, which applies to these 2 sheets, Section 2, which applies to these 2 sheets, and Section 3, which requires you to make a new sheet, right? And then you also have a new sheet for the bar chart that is asked for you to make in Section 3. So you have 4. You change the name, so you still have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the rubric makes 9. So when you're done, you're going to have 9 sheets in this one workbook, right? That's all you should have. So I went through some of the instructions already here. It does say here that you're going to copy and paste the data from this sheet, right? So all of this data here, you're going to copy and paste, and you're going to put it in this sheet starting here. So when you're done, you're going to have the name, the donor type, the phone number, and the first donation, and then the total annual donations will be there as well, right? And then you're going to have free membership. So what you're going to have to do for this column is you're going to have to use an if formula to come up with whether or not someone should get a free membership. And if you look at the instructions, it tells you that if the person donates more than $1,500, then they would get a free membership. So your answer in a column like this would be free membership, yes or no. You could either put yes or no, or you could put free membership or no free membership or none. But whatever you put, it should be done using the if formula, right? And make sure that the formula, you don't just type it in. Any information in any of the cells that are not completed for you that require formulas, you have to have formulas in them. Otherwise, you will not get the points, okay? You also have to total the information, right? Again, using formulas and also using cell ranges. So if you look, for example, here, when you carry this information to the next column, what will happen is you're going to basically have information here that's going to tell you how much the total is. And then when you have the total, you're going to have to use a range to come up with how much it is when you total it down. And then on your private donor sheet and your business donor sheet, you're going to total up how many donors there are here and here, and how much money each one donated. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else in this one. You're going to create a column chart and a pie chart, just like I mentioned before, 2 charts in each for your private donors. Make sure that each of your charts not only has a title, but also has the access title. So you'll see like a column, like on the left, it'll tell you like what you're charting and maybe who the name of the person is. Whatever the chart has in it, you're going to have access titles, and you're going to have a chart title for each one. Okay. Then for section 2, you're going to basically be taking data. Here is going to be the annual sheet or the semi-annual sheet, and then here's the quarterly sheet. So you're going to be not copying and pasting this information, but you're going to be linking these 2 sheets. So the information that is going to be here is going to come from here by using the link sheets feature. And when this, the reason why you're doing this is because if something changes here, then it automatically would change over here. So then you're going to have information for each of these items going down from mortgage all the way to entertainment from January through June. And then each month will have a total here for each one, right? And then your item total over here is going to be your total for your 6 months of mortgage, your 6 months of auto loans, all the way down to entertainment. So you're going to have totals here and totals here. And again, you're going to be using under the formulas page, you're going to be defining names here using the names for these. Like for example, you could use January for this one, you could use mortgage for this one. And so you're going to be making your names, and then you're going to be using those instead of using cell ranges for your formulas, right? So you're going to total everything up, and then here you're going to have the average for each month, January through June, the minimum expense, again using a formula from January to June, maximum monthly expense from January to June, the January and February max expense. This means here that you're going to be comparing these 2 cells, right? And you're going to be using an if formula. So you're going to be like, if something is greater than the other one, then you're going to put the answer here, right? So you're going to have an if formula. So the answer here should either be January or February. That's what should be there, right? Because you're asking the question, which one has more expenses? And it's based upon the total expenses for January and February. All right, and then you're going to basically, inside this sheet, you're going to create a chart, and it tells you here, you're going to add a column chart to this sheet. And the column chart, it says to illustrate and associate the monthly expense figures for the last 3 months. So again, you have to give it a title and the access names. So you're going to be selecting all of the items and then the 3 months here, right? So, and the trick is that when you create your charts, if you highlight and select the areas, then by default, your access titles should go in automatically for you, right? Remember, when you have a blank chart, that the reason why you have a blank chart is because this is what you have selected when you insert your chart. You have nothing selected. So it's select the data that you want to chart first, and then make your chart. Okay, the last part, section 3. You're going to create a new sheet. Remember, just click on the plus sign, create yourself a new sheet. And then you're going to have to type this in because this can't be copy and pasted. This is a picture here. So you're going to be putting all of this information into cells. It doesn't say which cells. You can choose whatever ones you want. And this is basically, you're going to give the sheet a name. So the name you would call it is something like furniture chart or payment chart, something that makes sense with what you're doing. And it shows you all the customers and how much furniture they bought. Then you're going to have to basically come up with how much of a deposit, which is 25%, and then their payments are 24 months without interest. So this is not a payment formula. This is more of a division formula, right? So here, for example, with flowers, it says that they purchased $100,000 worth of furniture. So that means the deposit, I can just figure it out in my head, is 25%, which is $25,000. And that means the balance, if I take 100,000 minus 25,000, it's going to be 75,000. So then the 75,000, I would divide it by 24 months. So that basically is what I need to do, but I need to do it using formulas and where possible use ranges. All right. And then you're going to have to make sure that you select all of the cells here, and you're going to alphabetize these so that the numbers move with them, right? So the first person that should be in this list would be Chan, because Chan is CH, so this should be first. But you have to make sure that $95,000 and $95,900 goes with him or her up to here. Okay, so that's why when you selected, you just say expand the selection, right? And then on a new sheet, you'll create a fully labeled this one bar chart, again with the customer's name and the value of the purchase for furniture. So again, if you select these two columns, I'm sorry, and all the way down, then you should have no problem with creating that and sending it to its own sheet. Okay. In the end, you have to make sure that you apply appropriate styles and formatting to make sure the workbook is more attractive and easier to read. This applies to all of the worksheets, right? So you want to make sure that you have color. You want to make sure that you're using conditional formatting to highlight certain things. You want to make sure that you're using dollar signs anywhere a number that refers to currency is being used, and you're not just typing the dollar sign. That will throw you off, and your formulas probably won't work, so you use the dollar sign there. You want to make sure that you're using grids. Anytime you're dealing with numbers, you should be using borders around it to clearly show it so it doesn't bleed over. And that's basically it. Make sure you save it, and otherwise you don't get that last point, right? And the total value is 100 points. Some of the lecturers may use the marking guide in the system to grade this. I have told my students that I will be using this rubric only, and I will be uploading yours. So when you, after I grade it, I will be grading it inside of here, and then I will re-upload your file for your feedback. This way you can see your grade right in here with any comments. Okay, but typically if you didn't meet part or any of this, this is where you would lose your points. And then I'll be entering your grades in manually on this. All right, folks, so this is basically it. Hopefully it clarifies some of the questions you may have had on the Excel assignment, which again is your last assignment, and this is due April 15th. All right, thank you very much.